Imagine this, being a new realtor, which a lot of you guys know how that feels like because you are realtors, but it was a while back. And you all remember that first experience that you had, that gut-wrenching experience where you go, oh my, what am I supposed to do? So this feeling happened to me. I was 2 weeks into the business, and all of a sudden, someone comes to me and says, can you list my house? Hold on, who are you talking to? You're not talking to me. No. I got my license like yesterday. What are you talking about? And he says, no, I would like for you to list my house. And he proceeds to tell me the house has been in the market for 2 years.
That's all?
I'm like, oh, I'm not a realtor yet, really, but I know that's not good. And then he says, it's out in Los Venados. Guys, that's in the middle of nowhere. My friends in the back know what I'm talking about. Middle of nowhere. We built our dream home. Code words for overbuilt. Nice. So I proceed to say, well, but, why me? And he says, because you're the hardest working person I know. He challenged me. That gut-wrenching feeling had to disappear because I had been challenged. And I said, okay, give me a week. I'm going to go find out how I'm going to sell your house. I'll give you a call back. And that's exactly what I did. I went and I researched every single real estate agent, all about the market. I researched everything. I mean, realtors from California, realtors from Florida, realtors from all over the country. What were they doing to sell homes at a luxury level? I said, okay, well, they're doing video. So I proceed, never been on TV before, never done a commercial before. I proceed to say we should do a video.
And what was the price point of this home?
It was in the top 1% of the market. So I say, okay, well, I'm going to do a video, and I'm going to script this thing out. And I went to my client. I'm broke, 21 years old, broke. I'm like, okay, $500. And he goes, okay. I was like, wow, that was easy. Okay, cool, right? So we do this video, and we end up with the most incredible results that changed my entire career. That video was released with a luxury expired property in the middle of nowhere. Within 28 days, I had double-ended the deal, and it was a 6% listing. And I said, wow, well, that's cool. And then I proceed to find out what it's like to have a house come back under purchase price on the appraisal. Oh, it's like, I got no idea what this means. Again, gut-wrenching feeling. Is it going to fall apart? What's going to happen? And proceed to see that after the entire transaction was over, that I had done something that very few realtors and not any at my experience level had done. That buyer brought cash to the table. This was over 5 years ago in a market where that was not common, and on a luxury expired home. So I went, well, I didn't know what I just did, but okay, cool. After this thing closed, I proceeded to build a career specifically in a niche. I became known for being the luxury expired queen. I could do any luxury expired property in the entire market. I would get them from being on the market for 1 year, 3 years, 8 years on the market. I would turn them around in 28 days, 7 days, 14 days, 37 days. And I said, what am I doing that's different? I was doing something that I had no idea how I was doing it. So I started really analyzing what I was doing that was different than anyone else that had tried to do the same. I learned in that moment that that was where God had placed me, and a niche that people really needed help. And I was passionate about it. And I took those results and turned it fully into a referral-based business. I've never paid for a lead. So result after result after result, I was just brought all of these people and it said needed help. And so after analyzing what I was doing, I found this. And so today what we're going to talk about is that riches can be found in the niches. I'm going to prove it to you. So you can build wealth in any area of the market at any time. Doesn't matter if the market's up, down, or which market you may be in. We stand in Fort Worth today. I am not from Fort Worth. The market I came from is very different than a big metro. Doesn't matter what market, you can do this.
Absolutely. So I'm Cynthia Day, and I am from this glorious town of Dallas-Fort Worth. Woo! So Nicole and I actually joined forces last year. And let me just tell you, whatever happens in Vegas doesn't always stay in Vegas.
Nope.
I mean, sometimes it comes back and they start a business together, you know? And so Nicole and I had a lot of, really good heart-to-hearts and realized that we both have a very similar, if not the actual same, passion for serving people and humanity and growing people, especially women in business. And so together we decided to join forces and lead our teams together. So that is what we do. Now we basically have built a network of of agents and brokers that we now coach to build a business that lasts through relationships that last.
And we know that all of you appreciate relationships. WCR is known for one of the best organizations to build relationships within. So, a little bit about me, do a couple things. Luxury specialist, obviously, y'all heard about that. And also, I really love being a part of organizations. So that's a really big thing. I'm not going to go through the titles, but most important is that I'm really happy to be here with you all, and I'm really happy to be a part of an organization that cares about other people and wants other people to rise with the tides, just like was said earlier.
So I am a broker. I've been in the industry now since 2008. And I am a broker here in Texas as well as in Florida. So do we have any Sunshine State people in the house? Hey! Woo! Oh, that's my girl. She appreciates fashion. Hey. So yeah, so I became a broker in both of these glorious states. I call them two of the best states in America. We've got teams that we're growing here in both states. And becoming is one of my number one passions. I absolutely dedicate just about everything to growing and evolving and overcoming every limiting belief that I learned from my past, which you helped us honor with such dignity and grace. So thank you. And evolve into the woman that God called me to be. So I am constantly evolving and becoming the person that it takes to naturally do the thing to live the purpose. So that's what I do. And so recently, I have definitely become a marketing aficionado. So I realized that we can sell anything with a really amazing story, and we'll get into that later.
Absolutely. So today, basically what I did was I built a business in a niche, but a niche is all around us. We were talking earlier with Kay, like this is a niche. WCR is a niche. There's so many niches you can go into. We're not just talking about commercial or leases or investments or luxury or any of those types of things. We're talking about niches are all around us. But the way that we look at it is trends. So what are the real estate trends? We all know this. Some things are up and some things are down. Anything that goes down always comes up. Anything that's up always comes down. So we got to know what the real estate trends are to be able to really ride the wave. And that's what we're going to talk about today, is how to ride the wave at the highest level. So to be informed about the trends, number one is to know the market advantages. And if you've been in the business like almost the entire room for over a decade or more, you know there are tons of market advantages in any market. The good, the bad, the ugly. How many of people in the room have been a real estate agent for more than 5 years? Had to start with five. Okay.
Yeah.
How about over 10? Okay, still almost the entire room. I should ask who's not a real estate agent, so I can't count those people. And how about over 20 years? That is an amazing number. Congratulations. 30.
Wow.
40.
Wow.
Ah,
That's
Patty.
incredible.
50. Okay, so we have 1, 2, who's 40? 4.
That's amazing.
Congratulations. Y'all
Wow.
are amazing.
We have much to learn from you ladies.
So knowing the market advantages is number one to being able to really ride that wave. All market advantages are going to be different depending on the season that you're in. The season in your career, the season inside the real estate market, the season anytime. So what I wanted to go into is seasons. We don't look at this because, one, we're not taught this way in real estate school. We weren't taught about how real estate seasons are even a thing. Think about this. You go and it's going to be summertime. What do you bring out of your closet when it's going to be summertime? A swimsuit. What's going to be the thing that you put away when it starts to become fall? Or bring it out, sweaters, right? So you have this preparation for every season that you're in. We think about this when it comes to our fashion, and ladies, y'all are fabulous today.
I'm telling you.
I think we should all be in a business magazine, a real estate business magazine for fashion. I'm just saying, like, you know.
Especially the shoes, all our shoes.
Shoes. So we all have this about the season that we're in, but we don't look at it that way in our business because a lot of times we're too deep inside of our business to see the big picture. We're too deep in the daily activities and the daily grind and answering that call and negotiating that deal and helping that agent and coaching this person and mentoring that person and driving across town, my signs and, right? Then all of a sudden you don't realize when that season ends. And y'all have been in the business a while, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Seasons in your business come and go. You'll be gung-ho, buy your credit. All of a sudden, guys, that season ends. For one reason or another. You'll be gung-ho, luxury. For some reason, that season ends, one way or the other. You'll be gung-ho, commercial, like the retail and during COVID, right? Like there were so many things that seasons change. And if you can be so in tune with the season and the market trends to be able to predict when a season is starting to go down or come up, you can ride the wave. What do I mean by that? Amazon, for example. Amazon is not Apple. Now, I'm not asking anyone here in the room to be Apple. Apple is an innovator. Apple is different than Amazon. I'm asking us all to strive to be Amazon. Why do I pick Amazon? Because they're a rip-off and duplicate company.
They deliver, honey. They charge enough to deliver for free.
So what do I mean by Amazon? They were not the first one to sell goods online. They were not the first one to sell clothing online. They were not the first one to do overnight shipping. They were not the first one to do free shipping. They were the one that gave the consumer the experience that they needed and wanted.
Boom.
Look around the room. We all have the same job, which means we can all sell clothes online. We can all offer free shipping. Maybe, we can add in a little goodie in our bag or something. But honestly, really and truly, what is it that sets each of us apart? It's the consumer experience that our specific niche is looking for. That is what we're going to talk about, is how do we get that consumer experience to exactly what they are looking for and what they are wanting, because that's how you truly build wealth. You build a business that never ends, an endless supply of people who want. I remember the day that I said I would never get Amazon Prime. How many of us in the room have Amazon Prime?
No, wait a minute. How many of us don't have Amazon Prime? That's the real question. What? Just a rebel.
You need a wife, Hunter. So, the thing is they are so subscribed. Who in this room wants a subscription the way that Amazon has a subscription? That's your clients. To have something that just draws them to you. That's the consumer experience that Amazon offers. And that is wanting to be in the seat, in the feet, in the steps, in the mind of your consumer. And a lot of us, we can't even remember what it's like to be a first-time home buyer, because we've done so many transactions. It becomes a transaction for us, even though we still care, even though we still want them to have that amazing experience, but we don't remember what it's like to not know what an option period is, or to not be explained that you need to have your ID to go to title. I don't know, silly things that we don't even think about anymore. So having that guide for that consumer that truly fits where they're at, whatever niche you're in. I had the guide for luxury expireds. That was where I had this niche that I just loved. My niche changes as the season changes. There was no luxury expireds during COVID. So your season changes, but the thing is you alter or you create that consumer experience for that niche that you're in at that time. So if you all sit down right now and you take your pen and paper, I'm sorry if y'all are still eating lunch, but hopefully you're done now. If you can take your notepad and write down only 3 things. I just want to start the list. Only 3 things. Number 1, what is your niche? What is your niche? Number 2, what is the consumer desire in your niche? Just write one thing down. It doesn't have to be the whole list yet. That's good stuff. And number 3, what can you do when you walk out of here to give that consumer the experience that they ultimately desire? Homework, after this, you'll make a longer list and go more detailed with it. But these are the categories you look at.
And do your research.
Absolutely. So that's going to be next. So going on to the next point is know your numbers. I really knew my numbers. I know what seasons are up and what seasons are down because I'm so obsessed with the real estate industry. And if y'all have been in the industry as long as you have, I know that you are too. We're obsessed. We can't think about anything other than real estate related thoughts. We see people and we see, oh, I sold you a house, or oh, I sold your neighbor's house, or oh my gosh, you're the friend of da-da-da-da-da. We can't see anyone without seeing our business because we are consumed. It's our life. We didn't know that we signed up for that. We also didn't know we signed up to be a housekeeper and a therapist and a chauffeur and all these other things.
Contractors, gardener.
So know your numbers really, really well. Be so obsessed with your numbers. You can go to so many different resources, which a lot of y'all know what those resources are already. You've got like NAR, you've got Texas Real Estate Commission, you've got a lot of different real estate agents and economists actually go ahead and publish all the time, which I follow them. I'm old, so I'm Facebooker. I know. So I follow everyone on Facebook, and so when I scroll Facebook, all I see is every single update that there is possible in the market. The other day, NAR published something, and they said the Compared to last year, the mortgage payments this year are 60% higher. How would I have known that if I was scrolling someone's feed about someone's new outfit they bought? I wouldn't know. I'm so obsessed that I scroll news, my news, real estate news, right? So I'm constantly looking at numbers, national numbers, state numbers, region numbers, and then my little niche as well. And that's how I'm able to know the season that that niche is in. When the niche is up and the niche is down, because especially if you're in an industry like we are, we spend so much money trying to sell a house, especially luxury. You've got all of these video cameras and all of these ads and all of these opens and all of these things going on. And all you can see is that it's still not selling. And now 3 of your listings are just sitting there in the market. And now 4 of them are sitting on the market. And now all of this, and you're like, my season, where is my season going? Is it a small little bump in the road? Or am I supposed to switch gears? So knowing the trends every single month of where those numbers are, you'll be able to know if the season is ending or if it's just a cold front. So knowing your numbers is really important. There's another way that I love to know my numbers is this room right here, your network. You have colleagues out there that will give you their honest opinion about their business, their honest opinion about how much their agents are selling, how much their agents are running into leads that now are saying, the market's too crazy, I don't know what I'm going to do anymore. I think I'm just going to hold off, bye.
No, we don't have that experience right now.
We have a lot of power within this room right here. And you have other colleagues outside of this room that they would give you their feedback if they're in the same niche, in the same area. And those numbers need to be discussed. I know it's scary sometimes because you're like, what if they think that I am not the person that they think I am because it looks on Facebook like I sell, I don't know, y'all are mostly brokers. So, we sell 20 homes, in my little team here, and we sell this over here. Okay. Well, this month we only sold 8. That's not the time to hide it. That's the time to go to that confidant and say, hey, are you experiencing the same thing? Because you can use each other's experiences, each other's network, each other's understanding to switch season, to alter.
Collect data.
Collect data. So one of the biggest things that we saw, we coach a lot of agents, and we saw that all of a sudden, everyone was getting these huge objections that they had no idea how to handle because they had never been through inflation before. They had never been through high interest rates before. There's a lot of agents out there that have not been in the business for very long.
Yeah.
And so they go, okay, and they put the phone down. So we came up with a resource that's specifically those objection handlers. What do you say when they say that, hey, the market's too uncertain, I'm not going to buy right now, or I'm not going to move forward listing my house, or the interest rates are too high? All of you in the room already know the answers to that because you've been through it. But a lot of the agents did not know. And they didn't know you say certain things and don't say other things depending on what the question is. So at the end of the day, what is it that you can provide through that collaboration to allow you to continue to thrive, for your brokerage to continue to thrive, for your agents to continue to thrive? Because not only are the season for an individual agent, it's also the season as a mentor, as a leader. We have to lead them through these seasons. And so the network is one of the most important parts of this. Yes, numbers are important. I totally agree. Go look at them. But at the end of the day, it's also going to be grassroots. What are you feeling on the ground? So I'm a federal political coordinator for the National Association of Realtors. And so what that means that I go to the realtors in my district and I want to hear what they're experiencing and what challenges they have and take it back to the U.S. congressman. And then vice versa. That's my job. So that's your job as a group. And you can also do it in a niche, statewide, countrywide, especially with an organization like WCR. So don't allow that your network is just people who you are shiny and pretty and wear the best outfits and all of that in front of. Really utilize it. That's what we're here for. Last point is marketing. So no one told us when we became a realtor that we were a walking billboard. No one said anything about the fact that we had to be the experts at online marketing. No one told us that we had to be a person who could smile in front of a camera. All we see is Selling Sunset on Netflix. What?
Is that for real?
Oh, girl, you did not just do that.
Let me talk about all my boyfriend drama. That sells a lot of houses.
I'm sorry, my dress is the wrong one. But we do. We have to be avid marketers. We've got to be so in tune with marketing because that's our true job. Our true job is marketing. With every single listing agent in the room or an agent who's ever listed a house, which every single one of us have, you know it's, yes, the house is great. In some seasons like COVID, they sell themselves. But they don't. That's just a storm. That's just a beautiful sunset that comes, and it comes and it goes. If we don't know how to stand out in front of our crowd, in front of the market, creating that experience like I did in the luxury expireds, then I would have never built my name in that niche because I would have been stuck behind the times. I'd be like, well, no one else in my market's doing videos, so like I don't think I need to do that. Why spend the money? When because no one else was doing video, I did a video, put it on Facebook, put, I don't know, $30 behind it or something. Okay, back then Facebook was cool. Okay, whatever, now it'd be $3,000, but whatever. You put $3,000 behind and all of a sudden, I got a big return on my investment, double-ending that deal. So that's what I'm talking about today, is learning how to market to your niche, learning the needs of that person and speaking directly to them, meeting them where they're at. We tell our agents that all the time. Don't speak over here, realtor talk, speak where they're at. But then it's hard for us when we think about marketing like that. We don't think about meet the person where they're at because we're too busy in the grind. All we know is that everyone's on their phone. So you need to be on the phone. Okay, that's great. So we have mobile marketing, whatever it's going to be, mobile site, mobile landing pages, anything like that. But truly, it's the experience that they have. Because you know this, none of us in this room, just like any of our consumers, have the time if it doesn't work the first time. It's a little slow in loading. If the button doesn't take us where we wanted to go. If I can't see the pictures I want to see. If I message the person and they don't message me right back. I put this down and I totally forget about it. I did that to a guy 2 days ago. I said, hey babe, can you send me that marketing guy's phone number? It was his marketing guy, right? So, yeah, I want to do some videos and stuff. So, okay, great. So he sends me the guy's number. Call him up. I say, hey, Andres. It's Nicole. How you doing? Da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, so I was thinking about that's great. Yeah, send me your proposal. I think that's great. Let me get my business partner. Okay, da-da-da-da. And I hang up the phone. I'll get back to you. I hang up the phone. He texted me like a good salesperson would. He even had all the rebuttals covered in the text message because I didn't answer.
Yeah, you even pointed that out. You thought that was pretty cool.
I know. I was like, this guy's good. I'm not responding. Right? So he's like, well, what's holding you back? Normally, when someone's being held back, it's either due to price or services. Which one is one da-da-da for you? Salesy. Oh, this guy's good. Like, he's even asking the question. I'm not responding. Last night at 8:22, I had an idea. I called him. Andres, I got a proposal for you. And he got my money ×2 because he answered the phone at 8:22 at night when I had the idea because I had the time because I was driving here. We are all like that. Okay, maybe y'all are not as rude as I am. Maybe you respond to people. But the point is like we all need it in the time that we need it because we're so busy with other things. And that's what we have to remember that our consumer is going through. It doesn't matter what niche, that's what the problem is. And that's why Amazon has always been above all the other sites that sold clothes online. That was, all the things in one place. You could buy a lot of things all in the same place, right? But they had this little thing called one button. You pressed one button and you were able to check out with everything, your shipping address, your payment, and it was there in 2 days. That's the experience everyone's looking for, the one button. How can you create an experience that allows them, when they're ready, at 12 o'clock at night, when the baby finally stopped crying, to press the one button? And they don't have to think about the rest. That's the experience we've got to create with our marketing. When we're in the consumer mind and we're watching those videos, we can't take them down this long train. We've got to make it easy for them. If they're ready now, they got to be able to press the button. If they're not ready yet, there's still more for them to keep going, right? To read or to learn or to watch. But then if they're ready, press the button again. We will show you, well, maybe we can email out an example.
Okay.
So we're going to go into this in just a little bit. But funnels are one of the best ways to market, and we're going to talk about what I'm talking about when it comes to buttons. Amazon, every single time you go down, they have more advertisements. So if I was looking for a dog kennel, actually a dog prison, dog got on the couch the other day and scratched it, and I was really upset, so I'm buying him a dog prison. It's not even a cage, it's like a prison. Anyways, so I'm buying this dog prison last night while I'm driving down the road here, and I'm sitting there going, okay, great, I'm sliding my scroll. I'm on Amazon. Who else? I'm on Amazon, right? I'm on Amazon, and I see every way, okay, there's a button, buy now, right? Okay, you keep scrolling. There's more options. Oh, this one's indestructible. Ooh, press on that one, right? And they keep feeding me what I'm wanting, but every page and every scroll has a, I get this thing now. Now, we're now people. So when you wrote down those three things, remember, your consumer wants it now. They want it easy, and they want it where they trust the person that's doing it for them. I trust Amazon. I keep my card in there. Okay, maybe like 8 of them. Don't we all? So at the end of the day, we trust that site when I wouldn't have done that on a different site. How do you create that experience? Through your marketing. So your face, very important. Your face, it doesn't matter what your hair looks like. It doesn't matter what you weigh. It does not matter if you've been in the business for 40 years and you don't look like the card you still have. Sorry, guys. You know, it's a realtor joke. So the thing is they want to see who they're working with. They want to see you because you bring it to a personal level. You bring it to a level that I can meet this person. I can say hi to them. They're going to be accessible to me. Put your face on there. Don't be afraid to show your face. And then on top of that, don't be afraid to show off what you've done for this client and that client. Social proof is on the rise right now. Sen, you want to highlight social proof?
Testimonies, I mean, yeah, absolutely, 100%. I mean, reviews, I mean, talking about Amazon, right? I mean, you want a product, but then what do? You go to see what the reviews say. What have other people said about their experience with that particular product, right? Same with you guys. I mean, get your reviews, get them in written form, put it on Google, get videos. I mean, get all kinds of social proof of the experience that people have working with you. Absolutely.
Love it. I definitely went to the reviews yesterday. So at the end of the day, that social proof right now is what everyone needs because there's so many companies out there. Okay, there was a study done. This is a real study that was really done, and this is what happened. They went walking a neighborhood. They asked each person in the neighborhood. They said, hey, who's your go-to realtor here in Sunnyside? I don't know, whatever, in that area. And they said, Nancy. They said, Pamela. They said, Hunter. They said, Clarissa. They go back, do an 8-week campaign. 8 weeks only, 8 weeks. Did send outs to that neighborhood and specifically targeted that neighborhood for only 8 weeks. Went back and walked that neighborhood again. Who's your go-to realtor in Sunnyside? The same name was said more than 87% of the time. And the name was of a fake realtor. He wasn't a real realtor. No, I'm just joking. So that's the thing. Is that if you have the right marketing out there, you can succeed, but also people know that. So people really need to see your face, and they really need to see your testimonies and your social proof, because they know the power that the internet has right now. It's good or bad power, it doesn't really matter. It's power to influence them. And the thing is that they need to know that the person that they are contacted or that they are being contacted by, that their friend, that their coworker, that their whatever was trusted that person. And you know this. Now the connection is not six links away. Now it's 1.3, 1.8, something like that. We all know someone. Oh my goodness. Okay. So I was at this, I bought a Lexus the other day, and so I was at the Lexus dealership getting it serviced. And so I'm sitting in the Lexus dealership. I was wearing booty shorts, okay? Like, I don't really care. I wasn't just working on the laptop, right? You don't say hi to people in booty shorts, okay? You just work on the laptop. Just drink your coffee and, have a little whatever. So I am minding my own business. However, you and I both know we're on the phone with agents, negotiating deals. This agent asked, do you do this? Do you do that? And I'm like, no, you need this amendment, blah, blah, blah. I kept staring at this guy. I'm in a relationship, so it's not like I was staring at him like that, But I was just, it's like, this guy just keeps walking around. He's working on the phone. He just stands in front of the coffee shop like this, right? And I'm like, whatever. So we just kind of do this weird little eye thing, right? The next day, I go to a realtor event. I walk in, I got my networking checklist. There's going to be 10 people on this checklist today. Going to meet 10 more people, so I walk in. First person after I do the sign-in sheet, no joke, was this guy. He says, hey, you were at Lexus yesterday. Was I? Sure, thank God I'm dressed right now. Thank you. And so at the end of the day, this was what happened. We're connected with everyone. So just be sure that you use that to your advantage. Now, we're going to go with Jennifer because she did a great job at this earlier. Stop telling yourself lies that you cannot do this and it's more complicated than you think, and allowing your brain to take over, because it's not hard. All you got to do is just believe that you can provide that consumer experience, just like Amazon did or Facebook did.
So a little bit about me. Now, I started back in 2008. Now, I know there's a lot of veterans in here. You guys have been doing this well longer than I have. And you guys have seen a lot of different seasons and crashes in the market. Who here actually got their license back in 2008 when I did? Oh, hello, fellow people. How many people thought that you guys were absolutely freaking nuts? Yes. So, I mean, just imagine 2008 is, happening. The entire economy is tanking in the real estate sector. And I mean, it's just like looking at this huge vessel, and all you see is the back end of this ship, sinking to the bottom of this giant ocean, right? And then just imagine with your mind's eye this helicopter hovering over the back end of that ship and dropping me and my few friends off on the back of that ship. We were totally nuts. But fortunately, back then, we were able to find a niche. At least I was. Do you guys remember when Obama had his first-time home buyer credit? Do you guys remember that? And they were basically giving buyers, first-time home buyers, money towards their down payment and their closing costs. Boom, I found a niche. It was my first-time home buyers. So while people were literally jumping ship, I mean, the band was playing as the ship was going down. It was so dramatic. I had talked to lenders and other realtors that were literally getting out of the business, and they were going into cue the crazy dramatic music of corporate America, right? And so I got in, found my niche, and my lender and I, we started serving families all across our area and helping new home buyers find shelter. And I, like you said, rode that wave for as long as it was relevant, right? And I knew what advantages in the market at that time that I could give my clients, right? So that was my niche. And then as you grow, as you evolve, you get more experience, you start leveling up, right, in your experience level. I got into Dave Ramsey. So this was a totally different sector of very fiscally responsible, financially educated people. And I tapped into that niche. And then that's when in 2012, the market actually began to recuperate again, and luxury then was my thing. The market was ripe for luxury. So that is just an example of how, when everything is literally stacked against you, you're this little engine that could in a failing industry at the time, and you get in where you fit in. You just find the advantages in the market at that time, you literally ride that wave, and that's what you do.
Yes, absolutely. So I know that y'all have all had that experience, but maybe this time around when you have that, you'll know what season's going up and what season's going down just by today's presentation. So we have a few more tools for you. We are running out of time, so we're gonna skip quite a few of our tools that we're gonna give you. So maybe if y'all want these, y'all can come see us afterwards, or we can connect via email. But anyway, so we are going to skip. Oh, well, as you can tell, we like to be funny. So at the end of the day, it's not about the realtor and it's not about the house. It's really about the consumer. And that's what you have to keep in mind every single time that you go and you're trying to sell something or trying to improve, recruit for your brokerage or lead generate for your agents or whatever it may be. Now, this type of marketing can be used in any aspect of business. We're not just talking about your brokerage or those types of things. We're talking about personal investments. We're talking building wealth in other areas because we know there's so much wealth to be built in real estate. And so you can use this type of marketing. We really want to share that with you, which hopefully we can send that out later on to you as well. So, Sen, do you want to go ahead and do the difference?
Yeah.
Since we are skipping all of these slides.
No big deal. So the difference that makes a difference is taking action, right? So, we're hearing talks that we're going into another recession. And you guys are actually ahead of the curve. Y'all are taking action. So give yourselves a round of applause for being here. You guys flew in from beautiful sunny Florida, right? From California. You guys were literally riding the wave to Texas. Thank you guys. And we just want to know, how prepared do you feel that your particular organization is, and the organization of your agents as well. Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. So when we say take action, how prepared are you at this moment to take action, to do what it takes to make it through that next season, and not be just on the coattail, be at the high wave? That's the question that we have for you to ponder today. Is what will make the biggest difference? What can you do today that will move the needle the most for you to be prepared and take action? And that's your homework, step number 2 of your homework, right? So because you guys are action takers, y'all are all leaders here in this room, thank y'all all so much for everything that you do in your organization, your brokerages, because that's what a lot of this organization needs right now, not WCR. Us as an industry, because a lot of the industry needs leaders just like you to help them through this And I know that every single one of you guys are prepared to help them take action as well as you doing the same thing today. So, never let others control your narrative. You control your destiny completely. You are in control of where you're going and where God has for you to go. So take a hold of that God-given talent that you have because He placed you here for a reason. Amen. Amen. To be able to take action and build a business that rides the high wave of that season today. Thank you so much.
Thank you.